But a 5% increase seems to be fair to me. But how important is it? That's the other question. When you're stacking the issues that are the most important, okay, that could be addressed by an increase in the budget here or there, how important are police officer salaries? And before you say, I don't give a damn about no police officer salaries, they're making more than me, think about this for a second. Is there a connection between salaries and job satisfaction, salaries and the relationship between the police in the city of Cincinnati and the way they're going to be dealing with people that they're interacting with? We're talking about 10 grand is the difference between being an officer in the city of Cincinnati and being an officer in Springdale. 10 grand, 11 grand? How much of a difference is that? You tell me. Ms. D writes, if it's your desire to breed, don't lie about it and marry a woman who you know expects monogamy. Stay single and breed on. I mean, that's easy to say, Ms. D, but when men confide in women and say, listen, this is who I am, where I want to be, they want to get, women label them as immature. You ain't ready for no relationship. Something's wrong with you. You a dog. You want to be a player. I mean, part of allowing someone to be honest with you is accepting their honesty, right? When they keep it real with you, say, here's what I want. Here's what I'm looking for. Tracy writes, but the city of Norwood is broke. Well, they may be broke. But their officers are making, how much is this? Their officers are making $69,000 a year just for Norwood. Now, maybe because they've got less officers, even though it's a smaller geographic area, because they've got less officers, they can pay them more. Okay, I get that. So if that's the case, is it even fair to compare the pay of these other cities and suburban areas to the city of Cincinnati? I don't know. It just seems to me that we spend a lot of time worrying about what the police feel. How do they feel today? Okay. Did they get breakfast this morning? You get some breakfast? Okay. Let me get your little bib off. Let me take the bib off. Okay. Want to change your diaper now? I mean, the same thing happened with the expulsion of the former police chief. We spent months and months talking about police satisfaction, and they're upset, and they're unhappy. And even after the police chief left, there was indications and articles, rumors that the overall morale never went up. So there wasn't really a connection between the police chief and the morale of the police. Now they're telling us, no, it wasn't the police chief, it was police pay. Which is it? And again, I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it. I want to know how you feel. If you were the city manager, would you do whatever you had to do to make sure that police officers got that 5% raise? How important is that in the overall scheme of things in terms of the politics, our neighborhoods, and communities here in this city? Pat writes, Nate, or women think they can change or fix men. It don't work. When someone tells you who they are, believe them. I know that's right. What is it about women that they think that they're going to change another grown person? Well, I don't get that. I've never had that feeling. Like, I don't want to get with somebody and then have to change them. I want them to be already ready-made, okay? Make it easy for me. But, some people like a project. He's like this now, but you know what? If I could just get him to clean this up or get him to change this, get him to drop a few pounds here, get him to walk differently and talk differently, he'll be perfect. To think like me, he'll be perfect. It doesn't work like that. Sorry. Typically, you are who you are, period. You are. Some folks just can't accept that. They can't accept that. But what do you think? Yesterday, Pat Summitt, the winningest coach in NC2A D1 basketball history, she passed away at 64. I turned on ESPN. They spent the entire day commemorating and talking about her accomplishments. She won a bunch of basketball games. That's what she did. And I'm sure along the way, she was able to transform young women into women, which I think is even more important than winning a bunch of basketball games. But it almost seemed as if the folks at ESPN felt as if they had to do this. If not, we will appear sexist, and we don't want to appear sexist. But what do you think about Mr. Winborn? Is he right? Do you support the letter that he sent to the city manager? If you were the city manager, how important is it in terms of making sure that the city runs properly, I guess, or just making sure that you got people on their jobs who are satisfied? Okay? Just making sure people are happy in their jobs. Police officers deserve to be happy too. Now, I know that after this conversation this morning, I'll get a message, or when I'm out, I'll run into some of my friends on the Cincinnati Police Department, CPD, and I'm sure they're going to have lots of things to talk about. But to be honest with you, from a citizen's perspective, I mean, these are just the questions that percolate, that come top of mind. We spend a lot of time talking about police in the city of Cincinnati. I get it. But how important is that really? Avery writes, that's the starting pay for an officer. Some officers make over $100,000 per year. Wow. $100,000 as a police officer? Okay. But, there has to be something said about that starting pay. I mean, when that is higher, is it fair to say that, like, if you've got, like, some really great police officers, like they in terms of law enforcement, they're on top of their game, in terms of community engagement, there's never any real complaints. Okay, they do their job. Are they going to be lured away to these other areas, these neighborhoods, these suburban areas like Springdale or Norwood or whatever, because the pay is not competitive? You tell me. And then I'll reiterate, as a citizen, how much should I care about that? How much should I care about that? Brent writes, religion is a man-made and allegorical conception and has no material, scientific, or biological usage. It is a tool used for social control and has nothing to do with creation unless you take that Adam and Eve story seriously and never question who was there to record their birth. Mm-hmm. Good morning, Brittany. Good to see you. Good morning, Woody. Woody writes, good morning, Nathan and Chop Shop family. Glad to have you, Woody, as always. Talking about numerous things, as always. Some city news. How upset are the Cincinnati police officers going to be if they don't get a raise? That's my question. If they don't get a raise, how upset are they going to be? If they don't get a raise, is there going to be something called the blue flu? Will that happen? If they don't get a raise, are the interactions between police officers and, let me put it out there, people of color in the city of Cincinnati, are they going to become more dangerous? Less patience? Less tolerance? I mean, if that's what the issue is, then why don't we go ahead and just give them a raise? If that's what the issue is. Nathan Ivey with you. Things are percolating. Glad to be here with you. We'll be back with more right after this.
My name is Meera Batra. I have been in this country 32 years, and this is how I live united. America has always been the land of promise, and in my community, many families have come for a better life. Coming from another culture myself, I know the desire to become part of a community, to feel at home, and to gain the tools for our children and families to succeed. So I advocate for these families with United Way. United Way empowers them to look beyond their histories and to see what opportunities are available. We help them get involved with their kids' schools, network within the community, and when we do, we unite them. We make the community stronger. What I do is something I wish someone had done for me, and I am so grateful I am able to. My name is Meera Batra. I help families see opportunities and succeed. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Ready, go!
This is Nnamdi Asamoah. I play football for the Philadelphia Eagles, but what I do off the field with United Way might be more important. I'm a volunteer tutor and mentor. Why? Because over 1 million kids a year drop out of school, and that's not okay. It takes 12 years to create a graduate, but it takes about the same time to create a dropout. And the difference between a child becoming one or the other could be me, or it could be you. Studies show that if we get to these kids earlier, their chances are better. And kids who read well by 3rd grade are more likely to graduate. So join me in United Way. Suit up and take the pledge. Become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor. Because when a child succeeds, we all succeed. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Take the pledge at unitedway.org. Brought to you by United Way, the Ad Council, and the National Football League.
Now back to the show.
So in most places around the internet, Jesse Williams is getting mass props for delivering ill flows. He dropped hot fire. He dropped hot fire at the BET Awards. I say most places because you can't expect to be loved everywhere. If you go through this life expecting everyone to love everything you ever did, you're going to be very, very disappointed, my friends. Good morning. Currently 7:43 a.m. in the Queen City. My name is Nathan Ivey. Welcome back to the Nathan Ivey Show. So the good folks over at Fox, they took a couple shots at Mr. Jesse Williams. And among other things, on their show, The Five, which is a very strong concept. In fact, I enjoy viewing the show for multiple reasons. I'm a man, damn it. Don't blame me. What's her name? Kimberly Guilfoyle looks like the Joker. Whoever is doing her makeup needs to stop clowning. Stop joking. But it's 5 people, usually 2 women, that come together and they talk about the daily issues. It's a daily show on Fox. And Kimberly Guilfoyle said that she didn't know that Jesse Williams was so angry. He's so angry. Such an angry young man. Quote, I didn't know he was so angry. He seems so upset. I don't know. I mean, I feel like, yeah, there's things that go wrong, but also focus on the positive. I want to nominate Kimberly Guilfoyle for the, well, there's multiple awards, but we'll give her the Just Shut the Hell Up award.
Shut up, okay? Just leave it at that.
Shut up, Kimberly. Keep it closed. And it's just so easy for, members of the majority, and again, any majority that you're a part of, it's so easy to overlook, right, the hurdles, the issues, the concerns, the trials and tribulations of the oppressed, quite honestly, or the minority groups. It's just so upset. What are you so upset about? You're acting like they killed one of your family members. Well, for some folks, they did. And like I tell you, there's some people that when these tragic videos come out of an officer killing someone, they automatically assume that the officer had a reason. Or he's reaching for his gun, or he didn't listen to my commands, or he wouldn't shut the hell up, whatever the case may be. And they automatically assume that this individual must have been doing the right thing. I, however, as an intelligent man in the 21st century, can no longer think that. There's just too much evidence to the contrary. So props to Missy Jesse Williams. He's just such an angry man. What you so angry about? Your light skin? You got gray eyes. Why are you so upset? Right? That is classic ignorance. And then, as always, anything that happens with black culture, they want to blame black culture. And so there was also some conversation about, well, who are you talking to, Jesse Williams? You need to talk to those damn rap artists, those black music artists with their materialism. And that was his point. Yeah. Yeah. You got some of these artists out here that need to be called to the carpet. And I say Jordan, too. I mean, the materialism is a problem. Because materialism in a culture in which you've got a huge gap between the haves and the have-nots, I think it leads to crime. And I'm not against having creature comforts and nice things. I mean, listen, if you're in that position, you're in that position. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. But you ain't got to rob these brothers and sisters out here for it.